Good morning, and welcome to another episode of Sean's Picks of the Week, a wrap-up of all the different picks of the day I did this past week, ending today, May 18th, 2018. I cannot believe it's already more than halfway through May. I just don't even... Wow. Alright, so, this was our Play the Fifth week, and yeah, that was a little bit of a play on words there. But the idea is that we're celebrating over at Drive-Thru RPG and RPG Now, and of course the Dungeon Masters Guild, Dungeons and Dragons Month. So I thought I'd focus heavily on the 5th edition of the world's most popular role-playing game. I've actually really enjoyed playing 5th edition, and the few times that I've had an opportunity, it takes me back to a lot of that giddy joy I had when I first discovered the game in 1977. At the same time, though, it really benefits from some major design developments. It seems to want to bring in a lot of cool new ideas for what I like to call 21st century game design, while still being true to the core ideas of Dungeons and Dragons. For people like me, it makes a lot of ground up for what 4th edition kind of lost. And don't get me wrong, I have a lot of valued and wonderful friends who make a good case for 4th edition Dungeons & Dragons being a good game, but it really moved away from what a lot of folks felt was the essential experience of Dungeons & Dragons, whereas 5th edition really kind of gets back to that. So that's been my experience. No edition wars intended here, just wanted to share those thoughts. So we opened up the week with an official Wizards of the Coast release, and actually one of the very first major releases to introduce the world to 5th edition, Ghosts of Dragonspear Castle. My statements on there was, have you played D&D yet? D&D 5e yet? If not, it's long past time you gave it a look. As the massive month-long Dungeons & Dragons sale goes on at Drive-Thru RPG, I'm declaring this Play the 5th week with a focus on top titles from both Wizards of the Coast and others doing 5e compatible stuff. Ghosts of Dragonspear Castle is your perfect gateway into the system and the settings as WotC envisions them in this new era. Constructed as a preview under the banner of D&D Next, it's a complete package to enable newcomers to get a thorough gaming experience with the 5th edition of the world's most popular RPG. All the rules needed to play are in this adventure, along with pre-gens and the ability to level them up to 10th level. This is a pretty impressive opening release. This is a really neat product to say, hey, here's everything you need to get a sense of whether or not you're going to enjoy Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. Ghosts of Dragonspear Castle is a mini campaign, basically, and the big deal there, of course, is that it brings you into the Forgotten Realms, arguably the most popular D&D setting ever. So that was our Monday preview, or our Monday pick, I should say. Then I decided to start getting into some of the third-party stuff, because they did come up with a set of rules for people to create stuff for 5e, and a lot of great folks stepped up to the plate. This one's called Ebonclad, We Wear the Night, and it is done by Dan Coleman, and as you can see, it's a best gold seller. This one really hit a nerve with a lot of people in a good way. So, onward through Play the 5th week with a third-party supplement loved by many. Ebonclad, a Thieves Guild setting and adventures, is a top-rated product by Dan Coleman designed to let a GM and players fully immerse in a 5e-driven world of rogues and thievery. It's designed to start characters at first-level members of the guild, but the setting is detailed and rich enough to remain vital for long after, or to become an intricate part of a larger world. This one was really... This one sang pretty high, because it took you and focused you on a type of experience that is unique to playing thieves and rogues and part of a guild within a city, as opposed to the standard dungeon crawl type stuff. And again, best gold seller. It's going to tell you a lot of people really enjoyed it. Then, come Wednesday, we went into the Scarred Lands, specifically the Player's Guide. Scarred Lands is a setting that was done by the original White Wolf folks and is being carried on by Onyx Path. Wednesday's Play the 5th week pick, another excellent third-party product for D&D 5e from Onyx Path. It's their Greek myth-inspired Scarred Lands setting, giving you a chance to play the 5th in a world where gods and monsters strive against one another in the aftermath of a war and disaster on a cosmic scale. It's a highly developed setting. There's like over 40 projects that were done in earlier iterations, and of course easily translated over to 5th edition. This one is revised and updated from the most recent iteration of the world's most popular RPG. Everybody knows it's Dungeons & Dragons 5e, but there's still fun. People have fun just saying, the world's most popular RPG! Don't sue us! Nobody's going to sue you anyway. I don't know why we still have to say that. But anyway, Scarlands is award-winning, highly popular, has all of the classic things that you want, elves, dwarves, what have you, but it puts a different mythic and legendary spin on things. And it gets a lot of credit for that because there's a high level of development done by the same kind of people who brought you the depth and fun of, the storyteller World of Darkness stuff. Then we move on to yesterday, Thursday, Midgard, the Hero's Handbook. This one was done by a kobold. So yet another third-party setting that exploits the opportunities of D&D 5e for those seeking to play the 5th. Kobold Press is a well-known and respected publisher that brings in top-notch talent, and Midgard scratches a lot of mythical and pop culture itches all at once. Better still, you can readily take all that tasty stuff and expand your own 5e campaign with it. So, Midgard gets a little bit more into Euro stuff, but maybe Northern Europe and stuff like that. But there's just a lot of stuff going on there. So it gets into the Norse elements. It says here, welcome to a world of dark roads and deep magic where you can match wits with Baba Yaga, set sail for uncharted islands with Minotaur corsairs, and face the fury of giants in the icy north. So... yeah, there's a lot of interesting stuff there. And the thing about this one that a lot of people have talked about is that the Midgard material really translates nicely as, just more stuff you could add to your standard D&D campaign. So it's a useful product whether you want to play that setting specific or just grab all those options and add them to your game. And then today, we bookended the original Ghost of Dragonspear Castle with this one. Dreams of the Red Wizards, Scourge of the Sword Coast. Wrap up play the 5th week with another official Wizards of the Coast release for the system, and a perfect bookend with the first pick. It directly follows up with the events of Ghosts of the Dragonspear Castle with revelations of other terrible forces unleashed upon the world. Those wishing to explore one of the wild, dangerous places of the Forgotten Realms will wish to delve deeply into the tales of this popular release. So, basically, it comes down to, you can start with Ghosts of Dragonspear Castle, then you move along to this one. This one eventually leads into what's called Dead and Thay, and you start really getting into that whole coast of the Forgotten Realms kind of thing going on. And that's for those who really want to move along the official pathways of D&D 5th and its initial releases. So, there's your picks for the week, my friends, all based on 5e. Headed off to the mountains for a week vacation, so we'll see if I'm able to get all my picks done effectively while up there. But anyway, thank you guys for listening, and thank you for your support. Cheers, and enjoy your gaming.